Hello, and welcome to the history of movie theaters in the Greater Washington area for 1920 to 1929. 1920. The Strand Theater was opened by Tom Moore on July 13th. The Dunbar Theater opens for Afro-Americans on October 18th. 1921. The Old American Theater reopened on February 20th as the Capitol Theater. The Lincoln Theater for Afro-Americans opens on March 13th. The Republic Theater for Afro-Americans opens on May 30th. The Nillick Theater in Culpeper, Virginia opens on September 1st. The Broadway Theater for Afro-Americans opens on December 19th. The Olympic Theater became the Dudley Theater. The Lincoln Theater for Afro-Americans in Alexandria, Virginia opens. The Dixie Theater closes. 1922. On January 29th, the roof of Crandall's Knickerbocker Theater collapsed during a performance after a heavy snowstorm, resulting in 98 fatalities and 133 injuries. The Crandall Theater chain closed all its locations for a week. The Capitol Theater reopens on October 15th as the President Theater. The Garden Theater is renamed Central on December 24th. The Princess Theater opens as the first theater of the Kogod and Borka, better known as KB Theaters. The Rosalia Theater opens for Afro-Americans. 1923. The Chevy Chase Theater opens on March 4th. The Nillick Theater at Culpeper, Virginia became the Metropolitan Theater on April 12th and closed in August to become a Chevrolet dealer. The Tacoma Theater opens on July 2nd. The Palm Theater in Alexandria opens on September 23rd. The Ambassador Theater is opened by Crandall Theaters on September 30th on the site of the old Knickerbocker Theater. The Cairo Theater opens. The Cameo Open Air Theater in Mount Rainier, Maryland opens. The Prince George Theater in Capitol Heights, Maryland became the Capitol Theater. 1924. The Tivoli Theater is opened by Crandall Theaters on April 4th. The Ohl Theater opens on December 27th. The Cosmos Theater became the Mutual Theater. The Cameo Theater opens in Mount Rainier, Maryland. The Joy Theater closes. 1925. Warner Brothers takes over Crandall Theaters. The Arcade Theater in Hyattsville, Maryland opens on November 2nd. Pitts Theaters opens the White Stone Theaters in White Stone, Virginia on December 10th. These theaters closed in 1925. 1926. The Colony Theater is opened by Crandall Theaters and Warner Brothers on May 8th. The Dixie Theater in Manassas, Virginia is opened by this time. The Cairo Theater closes. 1927. The Little Theater opens on April 6th. The Fox Theater opens on September 19th. The Jesse Theater opens on November 5th. The Seco Theater in Silver Springs, Maryland opens on November 7th. The Stanton Art Theater opens at 513 C Street Northeast. The Ashton Theater in Arlington opens. The Gem Theater for Afro-Americans closes. 1928. The Strand Theater opens on November 3rd. The Dudley Theater became the Bandbox Theater. The President Theater is closed as the U.S. government buys the building. 1929. The Colonial Theater in Fredericksburg, Virginia is opened by Pitts Theaters on February 6th. Litchman Theaters, which runs a chain of Afro-American theaters, renames the Bandbox Theater to Booker T. Theater in April. The Laurel Theater in Laurel, Maryland opens on October 16th. The Fairlawn Theater opens on November 25th as the first theater to be built in the Anacostia District. The American Theater at 106 Rhode Island Avenue became the Sylvan Theater in December. The Chevy Chase Theater became the Avalon Theater as Warner Brothers takes it over. Pitts Theaters takes over the Fairfax Theater in Culpeper, Virginia. These theaters closed in 1929. Thanks for watching, and like and subscribe for more.